Business houses discuss impact of COVID-19. PNG Business Council LAUD easing of restrictions. And South Bougainville creates history in business.
This is National EMTV News with Helen Seah.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Monday's news. Amidst COVID-19 surge in the country, the fast-moving consumer goods or FMCG companies are struggling with the impact of the pandemic. The FMCG companies' Highlands Regional offices in Mount Hagen recently hosted a combined awareness program for the public to comply with the new normal.
The joint COVID-19 awareness was conducted by these companies: Paradise Foods Limited, Nestle, Panamax, Air New Guinea, Puma Energy and a security firm, Ada Solutions. They will continue to conduct more awareness so that their customers and clients make the new normal a tradition. The CMCG companies told the public that COVID-19 is here to stay and maintaining social distancing, sanitizing hands, wearing masks and sneezing into their elbows will ensure free movement of people and businesses to flow.
Passing system awareness for sick COVID-19 and supporting all health workers, supporting all NGOs inside the one community. Now awareness for all people. And people are dying as we are trying to fight this disease, people are dying.
The COVID-19 pandemic has created an economic downturn affecting small businesses as well as big companies across the globe and throughout PNG. Strict government lockdowns and lack of adequate manpower or employees are said to be the main causes. Companies such as Air New Guinea, whose revenue relies mainly on the traveling passengers, has seen a drop in sales since the lockdown measures were put in place. However, businesses are still continuing and following simple rules and measures will help a lot.
Our sales will drop because how buy Uganda because all money for the travel with him. But people make sure that people must stop on with him because the business is supposed to affect people by costing.
Some companies have learned how to deal with COVID-19 and have been good to employees by keeping them and having them on payroll. Companies such as Nestle and Paradise Foods Limited are continuing the chain of production so that their workers can persevere in this pandemic. The pandemic has caused some increase in sales due to people stocking up on food items.
That looks have a business, it looks have a long impact for this plastic. But the good thing is that the company has decided to keep all our employees on payroll. Not only here in PNG, but all our operations right throughout the world.
The FMCG team said more awareness needs to be made so that people can fully comply with the new normal.
We look forward to work with you for this initiative by the community, and then we'll work together.
They will involve the health promotion team in future so that message is translated well to the public. Vasanata Yama, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
President of the Business Council of PNG, Nuni Kulu, appreciates the easing of restrictions on businesses with directions from the Pandemic Response Controller's Office last week. Kulu, who is also General Manager for Digital at Bank South Pacific, urges all businesses to continue in adhering to the new Plapasin protocols.
A recent survey conducted by the Business Council of Papua New Guinea for the fourth quarter of the 2020 business year revealed that the majority of businesses in PNG continued to experience financial decline through to the end of 2020. The survey results show that at least 60% of the businesses surveyed did not meet their projected results for quarter 4 of 2020, with 69% of respondents reporting a decline in their 2020 annual revenue compared to the previous year. This is mainly due to the COVID-19 pandemic restrictions put in place. Last Thursday, Pandemic Response Controller David Manning released a statement much to the relief of churches and businesses. The statement said as of May 13, which was last Thursday, the size of church congregations would be able to increase to 100 alongside everyone practicing safe physical distancing. The statement also said as of today, May 17, particular businesses will be able to reopen with eased restrictions to enable patrons to engage in social gatherings of limited size while minimizing the risk of virus spread. This includes bars that also have a connected restaurant, as well as bottle shops and gambling venues, but with the warning that if business operators fail to protect their patrons and maintain public safety, individual venues will be held to account, and these restrictions are open to being reversed.
We do welcome the easing of some sort to certain businesses. There's been a lot of adverse impact to a lot of businesses right across the board, from your corporates down to your smaller businesses, and we certainly look forward, and we do work closely with the government. We do work closely with the Controller's Office in terms of relaying what that impact looks like, and we always in constant dialogue, and it is a collaborative sort of effort with the Controller's Office and definitely from the government to appease or to alleviate at least some of those impact to businesses.
President Kulu says the easing of restrictions comes with trust and responsibility placed upon the business community and their clients and customers to ensure adherence to COVID protocols.
As we try to ease these services, we do apply those protocols. We do expect our customers to also apply and respond in the same protocols of Nipla Passin. And I think that's probably the solution we all have to come to work together to continue to put into practice.
With the PNG economy joining the rest of the world in undergoing difficult COVID times in recent months, the easing of restrictions provides some relief for businesses, and with some major announcements on resource projects recently, investor confidence in PNG is gradually being restored.
The ongoing management of the health issues associated with COVID present a challenge not just for the PNG government but for all governments. And relaxing some of the mandated restrictions in relation to church gatherings, hotels and gaming industries, and they're the ones that have been most affected, certainly will provide some opportunity for business to be able to get revenue, get their income back up to levels that they'd experienced previously.
Dennis Orere, National EMTV News.
Police Commissioner and Controller of the National Pandemic Response, David Manning, has issued a direction that as a condition of operating, all gaming and bookmaking venues are to install and have running at all times an air purifier as part of their Nipla Passin protocols. An individual or organization that fails to adhere to this direction shall be deemed to have committed an offense under the National Pandemic Act 2020. This directive comes into effect today and will remain in force until further notice. Under Measure 9, Social and Business Conduct, gambling or poker venues can serve alcohol with food to their clients. This was clarified following queries from the National Gaming Control Board. 40 high schools in East Sepik Province are set to receive free internet following an MOU signed today by the East Sepik Provincial Government and internet service providers Pacific and Kinect. Part of the provincial government response of giving remote schools access to internet services, Governor Alan Bird is adamant this project will improve learning in East Sepik. With continuous disruption of classes due to the COVID-19 pandemic, this project will set the standard for online learning in East Sepik as well as providing teachers with online learning materials. The project will be launched in July and will also incorporate an education module created by local entrepreneur Jive Smari.
Including some of the schools in Aitape Lumi and in Nuku will be hooked up to the system, and we will hopefully launch by July. Under this system, we will be able to give free internet access to our children from grade 7 to year 12. They will be able to access libraries, they'll be able to access teaching materials, learning materials, so that hopefully we can bring them up to speed with the children around the country. Obviously, ECPIC has been spending 120 million kina a year on education. And we've been doing that for a number of years. We're just not seeing the results in our children. Our children are born smart. I think all children are born smart. It's in how we educate them or not educate them that they end up being disadvantaged later on. So we're hoping that with this, we're going to disrupt the education system. And if it works in ECPIC, then hopefully sometime in the future, other parts of our country can adopt it.
A UK-based organisation called Get Safe Online launched its Get Safe Online PNG Tokpisin website and signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the National ICT Authority of PNG today. This is also to celebrate the World Telecommunication and Information Society Day 2021.
Following the theme of the World Telecommunication and Information Technology Society Day 2021, which is accelerating digital transformation in challenging times while trying to address online safety in PNG, the Get Safe Online Pacific project supports and provides an opportunity for it. The website will raise awareness on online safety and security issues in the country and is also in Tokpisin.
And so now you have over 200 pages of online safety advice, free, which is always a good thing, and now it's in Tokpisin as well as in English. And I think what we've just said and what you've heard about the importance of online security underlines the importance of getting that message out to as many people as possible.
Safe Online Pacific is a project of the UK-based organisation Get Safe Online, which has been successfully promoting online safety in the UK for 14 years now. In the past 10 months, websites in English have been operating in 9 Pacific Islands countries who are members of the Commonwealth of Nations. This service is free for users. Get Safe Online PNG Ambassador Alice Areori gave a brief explanation of the contents of the website and explained that it is easy and useful for both businesses and individuals.
Yuba painim easy lo using efficient search function long antap long olgeta page so you can painim one topics that you like him. Emi easy long switch namel or business na personal section lo site one time simple clickable tab antap long right hand long page.
The project is sponsored by the British government, PNG businesses and the PNG government. Digicel PNG CEO Colin Scott supported this project.
As the online world develops, so must the services that we as telecommunications providers provide, but also as industries that we support. And having local representatives for the Get Safe Online program makes it more than just a website that's been translated to Tokpisin.
Gertrude Gabin, National EMTV News.
South Bougainville has made history in the autonomous region of Bougainville by being the first to create a business under directions from the District Development Authority. Known as Busiba, the business is venturing into commodity export. Agriculture Minister John Simon was recently in Bougainville during the launching and presented the company's cocoa export license.
The delegation included CEO of Cocoa Board, Boto Gaupu, Acting General Secretary for Oil Palm Industries Corporation, Capsen Pupita, and the Managing Director for Livestock Development, Terry Coim. The delegation was welcomed in true South Bougainville style, first by Minister for Communications and Technology and local member Timothy Masiu, presenting each guest with a mimis or shell money and then a traditional welcome. Described these days as Bougainville Town, residents came together to witness the historic announcement of the district's business arm, Busiba South Bougainville Corporation Limited. Busiba is an initiative by the South Bougainville District Development Authority.
Busiba and local community governments inside of South Bougainville. You've all got the community governments, you've got share inside long Busiba and business handler Yupla.
While it plans to expand its business portfolio, Busiba for now will start exporting cocoa out from Bougainville. The cocoa export license was presented by the Minister for Agriculture, John Simon, to Minister Masiu. The Agriculture Minister further presented 200,000 kina to Busiba as part of startup capital and another 20,000 kina for freight subsidy.
Only first Bougainville company where people own him and now by ready long exporting cacao going overseas. You be wasting time too much. Time for walking come up through. You mean again, sit down now, wait, no, this was something by put down the sky, come down. And we've been put down for this before, now we start now waiting me meet us all. Long pressing button now might come up. Now we walk come up. Ibla come give him support Ibla. Ibla come continue support Ibla. Ibla by continue support him work necessary. Support him work supply him set him on people necessary. Work on them district Ibla. Set him on necessary, supply him on polybag. Set him up on people necessary. Now Ibla come kishim na make him this work go plan him cacao.
Minister Simon and the Cocoa Board CEO were then given the honours to open a storage shed with Minister Matthew. Busiba South Bougainville Corporation Limited, although is an initiative by the DDA, it will be independently run with the profits injected back into developing the district.
So we look long some way where you can try and help more people. Because me got Lonara side on roti bagarap. Lonara side on classroom bagarap. Lonara side on health services bagarap. That's why I'm important look out of the box on the Saveto. Long time, long pioneer some way where people are generating money inside long district yet. That's why Busiba I'm born.
These are some of the current MP's plans as he slowly rebuilds a once vibrant local economy. Shamit Poreambeb, National EMTV News.
Still ahead on National EMTV News, Triumph Heritage Party condemns the killing of a woman by a former candidate endorsed by the party, community policing and building trust with the police, and campaigning in the Moresby Northwest by-election. Stay with us for the details. Welcome back. The founder of the Triumph Heritage Empowerment, or the party, Don Pollier, says the party condemns killings in the country. This follows the murder of a woman allegedly by her medical doctor husband who contested the 2017 national election under the party banner. The matter is now in court.
While the matter relating to the alleged killing of a woman by her husband in the Southern Highlands goes to court, pictures of the accused in the party colours in the 2017 national election surfaced. The man who founded the party says the political association between the party and the accused concern is no more.
I strongly disassociate the Triumph Heritage Empowerment Party and the leadership of the party from Dr. Simon, Temo and the associates involved in.
Mr. Pollier condemns killings that are morally wrong.
Because any life that has been lost, caused upon that death by a person is a very serious matter that attracts the attention of every one of us, commands very serious attention, and this killing must be condemned at all costs.
He says going forward, parties must properly screen candidates before endorsing them to run for the elections.
It's a very important lesson that we learn. We will need to usher in candidates, their curriculum vitae, their personal resumes, their credentials, and also some character reference from pastors or community leaders from within the electorate. I think we should make that into a law of the Electoral Commission, that the Electoral Commission, when it administers the elections of an electorate, needs to have those fundamental facts or credentials of the particular candidate before the public to scrutiny.
Bradley Valenaki, National EMTV News.
Still on Don Pollier, and the founder of the party, Don Pollier, says the party leadership is still with the member for Karamu Nomane, Jeffrey Kama. The former leader of the party says after a lengthy court process and his ultimate victory, he wants to focus on his electorate for now.
That party at the moment is a small party. The leader of Tribal Heritage Empowerment Party is the Honorable Jeffrey Kama, the member for Karamanumane. And I'd like to leave it at that. I've just come in. I have an electorate to settle into. I have 7 months remaining before the next election, and I need to concentrate on the Kandep issues. I have to look at the District Development Authority of Kandep, work with the provincial administration of Enga Province, work with the governor of the province, and other local MPs of the Enga Province that I need to consult and work with. I also need to work with the former MP, Albert Manasseh. Whether he rightly was occupying the seat or not is immaterial. The fact remains that he was an MP for the last 3 or 4 years. And I need to consult and talk with him also to carry on from some of this work that he will have done. Or some of the work that I started, and he probably would have carried on and requires me to accomplish them. So I would like to very much concentrate on Kandep matters at the moment and leave the party leadership as it is with the Honorable Jeffrey Kama of Karamanumane electorate.
NCD Metropolitan Superintendent says police may use reasonable force if need be. The police boss says policing has been difficult in the past years. However, in a recent statement by Transparency International PNG, community trust is essential for effective policing. The statement further elaborated that allegations of police brutality or improper conduct by police can cause mistrust.
Policing in Papua New Guinea has never been easy for the men and women in blue. Untimely budget funding and logistic woes have also been legacy issues within the force. But in the past years, the force has been leveled against constant allegations of brutality. For the city police, the Metropolitan Superintendent says reasonable force is applicable.
Force has to be used sometimes. Reasonable force is allowed by law. Reasonable force is allowed by law to overcome resistance from people. So if there are uncooperative people out there, of course police will use laws.
In a statement released by Transparency International PNG, community trust is essential for effective policing. Allegations of police brutality, improper conduct by some sections of police and lack of progress on several high-profile cases can cause mistrust and perceptions of a lack of accountability within the force. This has called for swift and proactive investigation so justice is served. TIPNG also expressed disappointment of a media coverage by an international media firm showing damning footage of policing in Port Moresby. But the NCD police boss says resisting of arrest and evading police has always triggered the use of force on suspects.
But the police brutality thing, what amount of force is necessary is the subject of the court. But every time we get the media bashing on police brutality because of the amount of force we use on a very unwilling and uncooperative people.
Meanwhile, the NCD police boss says there is no buai ban in the city and requests if the public can minimize huge numbers at a market location.
There is no buai ban because we do not want to affect the livelihood of the people, but we are concerned about the crowd teaming up for more than 30 to 40 men.
Jack Lopava Jr., National MTV News.
With 2 weeks remaining before voting starts in the Moresby Northwest by-election, candidates continue to host rallies in parts of the city. Intending candidate Lohia Boy Samuel visited the 4 Mile Raintree community yesterday, accompanied by Tourism, Arts and Agriculture Minister E.C. Henry Leonard. Samuel delivered a brief message pushing for youth and women empowerment and change in communities. The seat was left vacant following the death of Soma Karamarata early this year.
Intending candidate for the Moresby Northwest by-election, Aloia Boya Samuel says he is confident to provide simple and tangible services if given the mandate by the people. This was his message to the community at 4 Mile Raintree. He says women and youths will be the focus to drive change.
Within the 9 months, Prime Minister talked, we have to do things that are simple, things that are real, true, things that are tangible. Tangible means you can look him, and things that are achievable.
The Pangu endorsed a candidate who was accompanied by Tourism, Arts and Culture Minister E.C. Leonard.
We come here
me set up because me got big belief. Logan man, lo James Marape, la candidate why me set up him, lawyer boy Samuel.
The Raintree community raised a serious number of concerns, including land issues and eviction notices, to the intending candidate to address if given the chance to Parliament. The youth representatives and women leaders say youth employment creation and SME engagement are some key priorities.
All youths now, all Bagaram, now stop the youth of Bagaram, all no Bagaram. You got manual, put your man, no sebi motors, all no sebi mall.
Suli, a National EMTV News.
And now looking at the NAS Fund market report, the Kina opened unchanged at $0.2850 in the interbank markets. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying $0.2775 $0.3543 Australian dollars, $0.3822 New Zealand dollars, and 29.75 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher, coffee and cocoa closed lower, and copper closed higher. Palm oil closed higher, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National EMTV News continues with more stories after these messages. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. Nurses in West New Britain have been encouraged to fight their fears and serve people during the International Nurses Day celebration. The program began with a fellowship led by Reverend Wesley Wartabat. This was followed by speeches, reciting of the Nurses' Pledge and dedication of nursing officers. Head of Nursing Deputy Director Sister Scully Baiwan echoed words of encouragement for nurses to serve without fear and uphold patient care. The event also coincided with the blessing of the isolation ward at the Kimbe General Hospital.
Your word that we come to being, oh God. What was in the mind of men? Your word.
The vision of healthcare. We are the voice and we are the vision of healthcare. So we are the largest healthcare professionals and we must contribute to the planning of healthcare business going forward now. You must step up now. Fighting fear, we are scared of getting COVID at the front line. We're fighting the fear and stepping up so that we can pay for many roles within this pandemic.
Mila to thank you, lo you geta, lo dis la courage, la soin, dis la skill, dis la saber, dis la hamamas na belisi, dis la sacrifice, you making on behalf of yourselves na lo family, lo you plan, lo sum up, one time nipla all doctor. Now, all management.
Ungai Bena District in Eastern Highlands has backed the ongoing Ungai Chuave Road project. Ungai Bena MP Benny Allen presented the financial support to Governor Peter Numu and the provincial engineering team recently. The funding will assist logistics and other needs to complete the upgrading of the Ungai to Chuave Road and ring roads in the Ungai Bena District. Governor Numu said road is an essential infrastructure which drives all other government services into the rural districts and villages, exposing the people to the outside world. Numu said the Provincial Engineering Division will also purchase road sealing machineries later to maintain and build roads in Eastern Highlands. Meanwhile, the Makia Coffee Development Cooperative in the Ungai Bena District of Eastern Highlands Province launched its resource centre, mini wet mill and cooperative group. The launching took place in Makia village, witnessed by MP Benny Allen and staff of the Coffee Industry Corporation. CIC General Manager Stephen Tumai said the group had initially embarked on a self-help program since 2015 to organize itself into a cooperative group to improve the livelihood of the Makia community. The group was also given a mini wet mill by CIC. Ungai Bena MP Benny Allen also presented 67,000 kina to assist the group's community clinic and water supply project. An employee of Dulux Group in Lae, Kevin Yoke, said he will now have easy access to his savings information with NASFund with the setup of the NASFund internet booth. Yoke joined NASFund in 1989. However, he did not access his savings information until the partnership between Dulux Group and NASFund. He is one of over 100 staff at Dulux Group in Lae and Port Moresby who will now be able to access the fund's member online portal within the comfort of their office.
The country's leading paint manufacturer and supplier partnered with PNG's leading superannuation provider to make superannuation more accessible to its staff.
As a company, we want to add real value to our employees because they are the biggest asset that we have at our disposal, and we want to do the right thing up front to show them our duty of care so that they can continue to serve us.
Dulux Group in Lae and National Superannuation Fund launched the NASFund internet booth last Wednesday that would serve over 100 employees of Dulux Group. Kevin Yoke is one of the staff that would have access to this information for the first time using the computer system.
NASFund come inside now, okay, programming or something, side the computer now, all this now. Easy, lo miblo checking. No need lo go anda lo town, sanap lo line, long time taking 2-3 days.
Say, for example, the company is supposed to pay, you can just go in there, you can check it. You can check your balance. It has not been updated. You can always call your payroll, you can always check in company and just ask them why it's not updated and why it's not making so the checks and balance are there. So I'm providing this now.
COVID-19 kamone musim bukan ada chance lo banta musim go sana lo lain musim sambil commercial banking na bo like musim so tayo musim proses dun ka make musim and pulo mito gara.
Dulux Group is one of the major companies in Momase and Southern region that launched these internet booths in Lae and Port Moresby. The facility enables employees to have access to the NASFund member online portal right at their workplace. Dulux Group's Human Resource Department will be providing training to assist them log on and access the information.
It's about time that we need to think outside of the box. COVID-19 has brought a real challenge to the business houses, and in the midst of those challenges, you can see opportunities that is lying in front of us. So as HR professionals, our job is to convince our managing directors, CEOs, and general managers that this is what we need.
Staff of NASFund and NCSL in Lae are working together to set up the internet booths at the company premises for the employees. According to NASFund Momase's regional team leader, Gaita Goasa, companies with over 100 employees can partner with NASFund and NCSL in rolling out the NASFund internet booths. This comes a month after the launching of the internet booth at the South Pacific Container Terminal in Lae. Julie Badui, OA, National EMTV News, Lae.
And Chuka Sports is next. Introduction of semi-professional women's rugby league and Hunters humbled by the Magpies. Join us after the break.
Chuka Sports.
Women's Rugby League can reach new heights with the introduction of a semi-professional competition. The Women's Semi-Pro competition is set to run alongside the Men's Digital Cup during its last 6 weeks. This will be the marquee competition to select local women players in Papua New Guinea.
COVID-19 has caused a lot of disruption to preparations for Papua New Guinea for the World Cup, especially for the PNG Women's National Rugby League team, the Oil Search PNG Orchids, looking to make the Rugby League World Cup in England in November. The local women's competitions in Papua New Guinea have struggled to gain interest during the pandemic last year. And with the World Cup looming, they have 5 months remaining to pull together a national women's team. So far, Papua New Guinea Rugby Football League affiliated competitions, which have women's divisions, are yet to start their competitions. There is some good news. to make sure the women have a chance at improving on their previous performance in the 2017 World Cup. Papua New Guinea Rugby Football League will be introducing a semi-professional women's competition.
Introduce a new national women's competition that will run in tandem with the Digicel Cup, which will get the girls from the Confederate Championships. Instead of playing a one-weekend national championships like we've done in the past, it will run together with the last 6 weeks of the Digicel Cup. So at that level, we're hoping that our elite girls in the country can compete at the domestic level, that can prepare our elite coaching staff and team to identify the cream of the 22 or 23 girls that will represent the country to, better the ranking of fourth going into the 2021 Rugby League World Cup. So
there are some players based overseas, but most of the women are likely to be homegrown. Not only is the team preparing for the World Cup, but PNG RFL wants to use the Orchids brand to drive positive key social messaging.
Whilst we look at Orchids at the international level, we're also mindful that the two representation of the girls and the numbers are in our domestic front. And that's where Chairman said a bit that we wanted to do a bit of domestic competition to get the girls engaged. Issues going on with girls and mothers, and we want to advocate for that. We want to stand out and come out with some key messages that we'll be working closely with Okara on through social media and other means, making back page, front page, issues affecting women and men. And I think that's something that we as a body and as a sport want to stand out and say, condemn these actions, support the women, encourage the women. So it's a partnership that goes above and beyond just sponsoring a rugby league team.
The only thing left for the team is to look for a coach and soon get all their training programs ready in preparation for the 2021 Rugby League World Cup.
For the World Cup preparations and stuff, like the Chairman said, with this support coming in now, we can go out and we've advertised for a coach, which we are closing off soon. Once we get that on board, we'll get the support team working on it, and we can start working on the details leading up to the World Cup.
Fidelis Sukina, Trukai Sports.
Injuries and suspensions impacted on the PNG Hunters as they suffer their third loss in a row, going down to the South Logan Magpies 48-14 in round 7 of the Intra Super Cup at the weekend. The Magpies team, boosted with NRL players, made short work of the Hunters, scoring 8 tries.
10 meters out from the Hunters line. So
the South Logan Magpies produced a dominating performance, coming away victors 48-14 over the PNG Hunters. It was the Hunters' first loss at Davis Park after 7 consecutive wins at the Magpies' home ground. Hunters' soft goal line defense led to Hedrington strolling over to score in the 5th minute. A run from dummy half allowed Corey Pikes to cross the line untouched as the Magpies raced off to a 12-0 lead within 10 minutes. The Hunters opened their account in the 22nd minute when forward Emmanuel Waine crossed after finishing a movement built on the quick hands and feet of Jacody Bire and winger Junior Rao.
Finding Kobale, they keep it alive here, the Hunters, and there should be a try. There it is.
The second try for the Hunters came through an attacking raid that spread the Magpies' defense and finished with a cutout pass to flying winger Solo Wayne, who did well to plant the ball on the line amid several Magpies tacklers.
Plays the ball back, so the Hunters on the roll here. They work it back towards the short side. Oh, there it is. That should be a try.
At the halftime break, the Magpies led 12 points to 10. However, the Hunters came undone in the second half as the class of the Magpies NRL experienced players made the Hunters pay for their lapses in defense, while the Magpies' attacking kicks hurt the Hunters, allowing the Brisbane side to pile on the points, scoring a total of 8 tries, bringing the final score 48 points to 14 as the Magpies inflicted the Hunters' third loss in a row. Huxley Lovai, Trukai Sports.
And that story wraps up Trukai Sports. There were the details after the break.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Moniplus, with you always.
A look at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region. Partly cloudy with chances of showers and possible thunderstorms in Port Moresby. Showers, then cloudy periods in Daru. Chances of rain showers and possible thunderstorms in Kerma. Partly cloudy with brief showers in Alatal and a few evening showers in Popondita. In the Momasa region, partly cloudy with a few showers in Ley and Medang. Partly sunny and fine with evening brief showers in Wewak and occasional rain showers and thunderstorms easing in Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands region, cloudy periods with evening showers right across the region in Lorengau, Caribbean, Kokopo, Rabaul, Kimbe and Buka. And in the Highlands region, partly cloudy with some showers in Mount Hagen, Goroka and Kundiawa, and rain showers easing to cloudy periods in Mendi and Twabeg.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that's been the news, sport and weather for Monday, 17th of May 2021. On behalf of the news team, pleasant viewing. Good night.